everybody. Today I'm going to talk about, this idea came to me yesterday, or the day before, I think it was, and I was just having a good clean around the house, and off the back of my last advice vlog, how to deal with negative people, I thought, okay, why don't I do a vlog about why is it so positive or possibly even important to keep your space, whether it's a working space or a at-home space, why it can become really important to keep our environment and our space clean. And we could look at this on so many levels, just our own individuality, but we can also look at it on the global sort of planetary level as well. And we all know that our Earth that we live with is not being taken care of probably as well as some of us feel like it could be. And I believe that our collective change, our planetary change, ultimately comes down to the individual. So every single individual sort of awakens to a level of being whereby taking care of themselves and taking care of their own physical body, then it reflects outward or is projected outward and creating a lovely space, creating a lovely community, city, planet, yada yada yada. So I'm very aware of doing advice blogs and not wanting to come across as pushy or to come across as like, you know, this is the best way to be, and if you're not like this, then you're a piece of shit. That's not the case at all. If I can offer a bit of insight or draw parallels as to my understanding and my reasoning behind the action itself, then maybe you'll find it helpful or inspirational in the sense that you know, something will click and you'll be like, okay, I gotta sort my office out, or I want to dedicate some time to loving my space or loving my place of work, right? So, and I just said it there, that our sort of initial extension of ourself beyond sort of what we choose to wear or how we choose to present ourselves is our home. And it's only recently it's been brought to my attention. I am, the expression I guess is house proud, is that I like to live in a nice home. I like things to be clean and tidy. I don't like to accumulate too much clutter. The reason I feel like I'm like this is because as a child growing up, my grandfather was a hoarder, and I've seen pretty extreme cases of hoarding. I don't think he was that extreme because there were areas of his home where my grandma kept real clean and lovely and nice. But my grandfather's space, so the outdoor space at their home and at their country cottage, or their lakeside cottage, and then in the basement and stuff, there was lots and lots of stuff. And as children, we would just kind of play with, you know, all the different radios, or play cowboys and Indians and hide behind all his, like, I think at one point he had 8 or 9 automobiles just at their house. And then you went to the cottage and there were caravans and stuff like that. And as a child, like, understanding, like, why does grandpa have all this stuff, especially when it doesn't work, like, and so I have that. I grew up with that and I saw that. And versus after my parents divorced, actually my mom, my dad as individuals are both very clean people. They, you know, my dad would clean his car regularly and help out around the house, and definitely my mom, and she instilled in my sister and I, like, you know, we do the household chores once a week, we help out, with keeping the house clean. And so I think there's probably been a few issues around control when it comes to cleaning. But actually, as I start to work through those deeper issues, I've actually tried to look at my cleanliness as a really positive thing. And so this vlog, as I blab on, is really about, to me, why it's so useful and beneficial to keep the house clean. And that when we can find the time to do some cleaning, to do it in a really loving way. And I found that transition, if I'm in a mood, if I'm feeling angry, if I'm feeling resentful or tired and I don't want to do something, I won't. And that's the new rule for me. I don't start in a huff, like, rah, going around cleaning the house, being like, how dare people make a mess, and like, this is so, I'm the only one who cleans and all that, because it's a lie. That's like a lie in my ego mind. So I've recently really adopted, I've looked at those emotions. If they're coming up, I leave them. And when I'm more relaxed and when I naturally, spontaneously have a desire to clean, I clean and I enjoy it. So saying that, everything's a reflection of our mind. I know as humans we can often get attached to our material possessions, but I think our ability to detach from our material possessions is a great first step to cleaning up our mind. And thus, through the purification of our mind, we don't need as much stuff. So we end up clearing space in our mind, which then clears space in our physical environment. And I find if the space is more clean and clear, it offers a flow. There's a sort of flow through the space. And just naturally, my partner and I have managed to create a really beautiful working environment. So there's a steady flow of people sort of coming in and out of the house socially, but also just sort of like little meetings and stuff like that. And meditation practice, obviously making these videos and things, it's cleared space for that as well. And I can only say that I get a little niggling feeling inside that if I make purchases, I'm really aware of possibly having to make space, say in my clothing drawer, or going around the house and just doing a little bit of cleaning out of drawers and stuff like that, so that I'm not over consuming. I don't feel like I'm accumulating too much. And obviously this is just a personal explanation or a personal experience of mine when it comes to my space and my working life. And now at home, it's wonderful. I don't have kids, so I'm really aware of the fact that it's quite different with children. What I've found through friends and clients, what tends to work with the kids is, again, a shared responsibility for the home from a pretty young age with little ones. Mommy's got to clean, you should help out. But also a designated zone for the kids so that the children aren't sort of taking over the house. They're not running the roost. The parents are still very much in command of the house, but the children have their own sort of sacred space for playtime as well. And then the children then can actually learn responsibility of how to take care and keep their space clean in respect of the whole house and in respect of their own space. And what that does as well, it just keeps that flow going. And lastly as well, it's the workspace. And when we let our files and paperwork get way on top of us, and there's like, paper everywhere, paper piles and junk and clutter, really. And it's not always the most enjoyable task to start a clear out. What I know spiritually speaking though is that if we set an intention, please God help me out here, or I intend to clean up this space, that naturally time will present itself. You know, maybe you'll have a cancellation, or maybe something will happen that will give you like, oh, a free day. What am I going to do? Oh, okay, I'm going to clean out my office. And I think ultimately it's the whole idea of everything outside of us is like a reflection back to us, and our intimate space or our space at home and our working space is still that. So if we want to keep everything orderly and kind of stay on top of everything, then it can be super important. Get rid of the old stuff, throw it away. Maybe some of your office stuff could be recycled or shared. But I just know from my personal experience that I feel a lot better in my house when I know it's clean. If my paperwork starts to lag behind, or if I feel like things are piling up, I know right away that I need to start going through stuff and have a look at stuff, or maybe get started on a project, get started on some writing. I think I just kind of blabbed on for a bit. I hope that was useful to you. Again, set the intention. I intend to live in a clean home, and give yourself that intention. See yourself in your environment in a really clean and tidy space, and that really slick space. And same at work, you know, you're feeling good, you're feeling energized and very on top of everything. And so your working space as well, you want that to reflect back to you your kind of highest self. And again, I think beyond our own home and our own working space, that we start to clean up the world, and we support one another in this process as well. I got to reconnect with a friend today. I bumped into another like mine today. I just think that the more we set these intentions, the more the universe kind of cajoles, kind of like pushes us along and ushers us along the path that we're meant to be on, and in order to support one another and help one another through this change. I do think this is a collective human change, or human evolution, that we're shifting, we're changing, we're growing, and we all need a little bit of support and definitely some help through these changes. And I just know if you're suddenly feeling like everything's chaotic and like everything's falling apart, simple things we can do: go to your garden, try to start cleaning stuff up, look around your house, declutter, get rid of the junk, get rid of the shit that's just building up dust and it's just there, like it's just constantly there. That's like an area of your mind, you know, that's an area of yourself that you're not willing to look at. So our number one learning is from other people. And then I guess number two is just places, circumstances, and things, even, you know, looking at your environment. What doesn't belong there anymore? What have you been holding on to that you're ready to let go of? Let it go. Be free from it. We're all one anyway. Nothing ever really disappears. We're all a part of this kind of collective unfolding, continuous unfolding. We never get there. So let's just enjoy the ride and continue to practice keeping ourselves in a really positive, happy vibration. Because that's the kind of world we want to live in. Okay, peace out, everybody. Love you loads. Have a wonderful day. Lots of love.